Sometimes the deepest pain doesn't come from cruelty. It comes from people who never meant to hurt you at all. This is the story of someone who was wounded quietly and carried it longer than anyone realized. Her name was Lena. Lena wasn't traumatic about her feelings. She didn't confront people easily. She believed that if something hurt, it was her responsibility to deal with it. So when it happened, she told herself it wasn't a big deal. The words were casual, almost careless, spoken without anger, without intention. The person who said them laughed afterward, moved on. But Lena didn't. At first, she tried to brush it off. They didn't mean it. They were just joking. I'm probably overthinking. She repeated those thoughts until they sounded convincing. But something had already settled inside her. The hurt didn't show up as sadness right away. It showed up as distance. She spoke less around that person, laughed a little quieter, shared a little less, not because she wanted space, but because something inside her no longer felt safe. Lena noticed the change, but didn't understand it. She still cared about the person, still showed up, still acted normal. But every time she remembered that moment, her chest tightened slightly, and she never talked about it. What made it harder was this simple truth. The person who hurt her had no idea. They were kind in other ways, supportive, present, which made Lena feel confused. How can someone hurt you without knowing? She wondered. And why does it still matter to me? She started questioning herself. Am I too sensitive? Should I just let it go? Why can't I move on like they did? Each question added another layer of silence. One evening, Lena sat alone with her thoughts. The room was quiet, and for the first time, she admitted something honestly. I'm holding pain that doesn't belong only to me. She realized that the hurt wasn't just about the words. It was about what they touched. An old insecurity, a fear she rarely spoke about, a part of herself she tried to protect. The words didn't create the wound. They pressed on something that was already there. A few days later, Lena met a close friend for a walk. They talked about life, small things. Then, without planning to, Lena shared what happened, not dramatically, not accusing, just honestly. Her friend listened quietly, then said something simple. Pain doesn't require permission to exist. That sentence stayed with Lena. She realized she had been waiting for justification, for proof that her feelings were valid. But feelings don't wait for approval. Lena also realized something else. She had been protecting the person who hurt her by staying silent. And in doing so, she was abandoning herself. That didn't mean she needed to confront them aggressively or demand an apology. It meant she needed to acknowledge the hurt instead of minimizing it. Lena began doing something new. When the memory surfaced, she didn't push it away. She didn't judge it. She named it. That hurt. Not to blame, not to accuse, just to recognize. And slowly, something shifted. The pain lost its sharpness because it was no longer ignored. Lena understood that healing didn't require the other person to understand. It required her to understand herself. Here's the lesson Lena learned. Someone can hurt you without realizing it. That doesn't make your pain imaginary. And it doesn't mean you're weak for feeling it. Pain isn't measured by intention. It's measured by impact. You're allowed to feel hurt even if no one meant to cause it. You're allowed to need time even if the other person has moved on. And you're allowed to honor your emotions without making anyone the villain. If you've been carrying quiet hurt like this, pause for a moment. Ask yourself gently, what am I holding because I didn't feel allowed to feel it? Healing doesn't always start with conversation. Sometimes it starts with self-honesty. And once you stop telling yourself that your pain doesn't count, you begin to release it. If this story resonated with you, take a moment to like the video so it can reach someone who needs to hear this. Share it with someone who has been hurt quietly. And in the comments, tell me, have you ever been hurt by someone who didn't realize it? Some wounds aren't loud, but they still deserve care.